Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Sector 5. I am your host, as always, Cody the Hangman Heinzman. Money in the Bank just ended, and boy am I gonna be happy to talk about this one. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, the order will be the way I did them in my predictions, non-title matches into title matches. And let's go ahead and start with the kickoff show, which was non-title matches, of course. Originally, Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin and Sheamus versus Apollo Crews was the kickoff show. So, that didn't happen. We had two matches that were not in my predictions that were on the pre-show. We had R-Truth and Goldust versus Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Winner of that match was R-Truth and Goldust. It was basically a throwaway match. On Monday Night Raw, Goldust and R-Truth turned up the tanning thing on Tyler Breeze and Fandango, and so they were basically suntanned, and everything hurt. So there was that. Next up, we had the Lucha Dragons versus the Dudley Boys. Lucha Dragons won, but if I were to do the predictions, I would have put it for the Dudley Boys, because Dudley Boys haven't won in a while. So that's it for the kickoff show. Let's go into the pay-per-view now. So we're going to start off with what was the kickoff show originally. Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. Winner of that match was Baron Corbin. Then we had Sheamus versus Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews won, but to be honest, I feel his win was very lackluster. Sheamus hit the white noise off of the second rope, and the ref counted 1, 2, kick out by Apollo Crews. Sheamus was yelling at the referee. Apollo Crews rolled up Sheamus, 1, 2, 3, and that was the match. Little lackluster of a win. I don't think Apollo Crews ever got off his finisher move and all that. So that match could have used a little bit more. Next up, Charlotte and Dana Brooks versus Becky Lynch and Natalya. Winner of this match was Charlotte and Dana Brooks, after Dana Brooks pushed Becky Lynch into Natalya, which caused Natalya, after they lost, to attack Becky Lynch. So that was a thing. Next match, whoo boy, this is a fun one to talk about. This is the last non-title match that we had. John Cena versus AJ Styles. Winner of this match, AJ Styles, because of the club. Now, how did the club get involved, you ask? Because you know that AJ Styles signed a contract saying that the club could not be present. Well, John Cena was trying to get the attitude adjustment off on AJ Styles, and it was on the ropes, and AJ Styles is just kicking his little feet there, and kicks the referee, thus making an opening for the club to come out, hit their move, leave, and ultimately cost John Cena the match. And I think the most funny thing that I got out of this was JBL's reaction. Most people know that the commentators have their set sides, you know. Michael Cole and Byron Saxton are more the face commentators, and JBL is the heel. So, you know, he would more or less want AJ Styles win, because AJ's kind of the heel and everything. But after what happened, he was livid. He said, "Hey, Raw, the WWE Universe have a good match," which was true. When I did the predictions, I honestly thought John Cena was going to win it because he hasn't been here for a while. And at the next pay-per-view, we would see the rivalry continue, and we would actually see the club not. And after the match, I kind of slapped myself in the head and said, why? WWE's been having this thing with the club and everything. I honestly don't know why I honestly thought the club wasn't going to get involved. But, you know, there's that. Let's talk about title matches now, shall we? We had Rusev versus Titus O'Neil for the United States Championship. This was the second to last match of the night. I honestly think that match needed to be pushed somewhere else, to be honest. I ended up writing down the order that they were done. I'm going in order that they were done. Of course, the kickoff show matches that I talked about, Lucha Dragons and R-Truth and Goldust, those two different matches. Then, whenever the pay-per-view actually started, we started off with the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team title match, which I haven't talked about yet. Then we had Baron Corbin versus Ziggler, and Baron Corbin picked up the win there. And then we had Charlotte versus Dana Brooks, and Charlotte and Dana Brooks versus Becky Lynch and Natalya, which I already talked about. Charlotte and Dana Brooks won. And right there is where I would have put this United States Championship match. Not the second to last match of the night. Right after the Divas match is where I would put this one. But either way, let's just talk about the results now. Rusev won, which more or less was a no-brainer. Titus O'Neil really hasn't been a big asset recently. I just recently found out, he was suspended, of course. Of course, whenever I do my predictions, I said this before, I try not to look at too much of the outside. I try to look at more of what WWE presents on Raw and SmackDown. But there's that. So now let's actually talk about the first match of the pay-per-view after the kickoff show, of course. The Fatal 4-Way match. New Day versus the Club versus the Vaudevillains versus Enzo and Cass. Winner of this match was the New Day. But with all Fatal 4-Way tag team matches, or maybe not all, but either way, I think that the wrong person was pinned at the end. We had, towards the end, Big E and Aiden English in the ring. Big E had, and I might be remembering this wrong, because I was even second-guessing it after the fact. But anyways, if I'm remembering correctly, Big E had Aiden English on his back, going for the big ending. And then Art Anderson, not Art Anderson, I always want to call him Art Anderson, whatever his name actually is, of the club, tagged Aiden English, because on Fatal 4-Way Tag Team rules, it's one member of two tag teams is in the ring. So we had a member of New Day and we had a member of the Vaudevillains in the ring. And Anderson tagged in. On Aiden English. But, and originally he went for the pin on Aiden English as well. And I was like, he's not legal. And then Kofi Kingston tagged in Big E, went for the pin after taking out the member of the club, went and pinned Aiden English for the win. And I don't think Aiden English was the legal man. So, that's one of those, either way, it was scripted for New Day to win. I didn't say it yet, but New Day retained the title. Basically what it's looking like is they're going to let New Day hold on to the tag team title until they take the longest reigning WWE tag team champion, and then they can get rid of them. As always, I will continue to say, and I know you guys are probably getting tired of hearing it, I want the New Day gone so badly. I want this Kofi Kingston back. The old Kofi Kingston. But boom. 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 If we don't get it back soon, there's like hardly a chance that we'll be able to get that Kofi back. It's gonna be so far gone, which it already kinda is. Anyways, sorry about that. That was that. These two matches are intertwinable. Well, I'm going to talk about it this way. The next match I have wrote down, we had Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Winner of this match, after a pedigree, was Seth Rollins. Hold on to that thought as I talk about the last match of the night. We had, well, not last match of the night. This was before the United States Championship match. This was third to last, but the last match I'm going to talk about. The Money in the Bank briefcase match. With Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Chris Jericho, Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens, and Alberto Del Rio. Who is Mr. Money in the Bank? Well, after a long, stretched out match, all the ladders, all the carnage, the one holding the briefcase is Mr. Dean Ambrose himself. Now, remember when I said to hold on to Seth Rollins as WWE World Heavyweight Champion? You can let that go now, because Dean Ambrose, after Seth Rollins won it, came out, his music played. He came in from behind, took that briefcase, smashed it over the head of Seth Rollins, cashed it in, hit Seth Rollins with the dirty deeds. 1, 2, 3. The winner of this match and your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. First off, thank you, Ambrose, for cashing in. Not because I didn't want Seth Rollins to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I would be fine with it. He actually deserved it because he didn't lose it fairly. Aside from, now, with cash-in. Has fairly lost. But, because I don't have to worry about Money in the Bank for the rest of my pay-per-view predictions. Money in the Bank is done. Mr. Money in the Bank cashed in already. I don't have to be like, will Mr. Money in the Bank cash in at this pay-per-view? Oh no! Because it's already done. Hooray. As most people know, anytime someone is Mr. Money in the Bank, it is the bane of my prediction existence. Because anytime I gotta be like, will they cash in? Will they cash in? Will they cash in? Now I don't have to worry about it. Ambrose cashed in. And I don't have to worry about it till next year. So once again, thank you, WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Dean Ambrose. But that was Money in the Bank. So, what are my thoughts? It was enjoyable. It really was enjoyable. I'm with JBL on the whole John Cena match, but then again, I was dumb to think the club wasn't going to get involved. And we have a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion in the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. This is going to be fun. Battlegrounds is going to be so much fun. And hopefully, my schedule works out. Because for most people who know, I usually miss about an hour of each pay-per-view. But this time, I actually got to see the whole thing. So I'm a little concerned that I might have a 2 to 11 or something for Battleground and not be able to watch it. But oh boy, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match at the next pay-per-view is going to be awesome. Because I can already see what it's going to be. I think most people could probably see what it's going to be already. But I won't say it here. We'll just have to wait till Battleground. So, that was Money in the Bank. And once again, I will stress, thank you, Ambrose. And as always, I'm Cody the Hangman Huntsman. That's just how it is.